And these guys end up fighting, and I mean, it was a bad fight. Both of them end up being poked up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Barely Harvey Talks Prison here. I want to talk to you today. I've been putting this one off, and I can't mention any names in this, but there was a guy that came to prison, young guy, and me and some of the others trying to school him, but this black guy befriends him, and giving him stuff, and we're warning him about this. It was mostly others than me, but I would warn him too. But he just kept getting stuff from this guy and getting stuff from this guy, and I don't know what happened, but I knew it was going to turn bad. But next thing you know, he's the guy's boy. But what happened was the guy's cousin came from another prison. And it didn't take him long to find. I don't know if he came from the other prison because his cousin was there, he got transferred there, or if they just moved him there. But he gets transferred there, and he finds out by his cousin what's going on and everything. At first, he didn't know. But then he realized, probably somebody told him. But he gets mad at all this other guys for not stopping it. And we tell him, he was borrowing stuff from this guy, shoes and stuff. This is back when we could order shoes, pretty much any kind we wanted. They stopped it because there was a lot of fights over shoes. Somebody wearing $100 pair of shoes, somebody else wants them because he ain't got them, and he takes them. So they went to Rydell's. I think they're called Rydell's. They're like $20 shoes. That's the only thing anybody can buy now. The same thing with clothes. You used to be able to buy any personal clothes you wanted, except for like jeans and stuff. We had to have sweats. But people had nice sweats and stuff, but then they started getting rid of those. Couldn't wear blues, couldn't wear red, and couldn't wear black. And definitely could not wear camouflage. But anyway, he was sporting all this good stuff, and he walking around thinking he was stuff, and then this guy, said, "Hey, time for you to pay me back." I guess that's what he told him. Anyway, his cousin finds out about it, and he's mad at us. And we said, "Man, he just kept getting stuff from the guy, shoes and all kinds of stuff, And we couldn't stop him. We tried. So he decided to take matters in his own hand. Goes and talks to the guy. And the guy says, "This is my boy, you need to mind your own business, You're stepping on toes." He goes, "That's my cousin." They was arguing, loud. And the guy and his cousin was in one house, and they was, back then you could go from one yard to the other and they wouldn't really say nothing. As long as you was slick about it, So they's arguing. Guy goes and gets a piece, and these guys end up fighting. And I mean, it was a bad fight. Both of them end up being poked up. They both went through the hole. The kid checked in, the boy. And then they started separating the housing units. They built a fence around each housing unit. Everywhere you go, there's a fence now. You can't skate to another housing unit. But people were still finding a way to skate, and fights and stuff were still going on between people from one house and another house. So they ended up having these little stickers that they put on your ID. You had to wear your ID on your shirt anytime you went out of the housing unit, and you had to have that sticker on. I think 6 house was red, I think. I'm not sure about the colors now. 5 house was green. It's like green circle stickers, you know. 4 house was blue, and 3 house was like yellow or something. But what people would do, somebody found some of these stickers, and they would stick them over their other sticker, you know, or they'd peel theirs off and put the other one on there, you know. They caught on to that now. I mean, they still got the stickers and stuff, but there ain't no way that you're getting to those stickers like people were before, you know, going in the caseworker's office and snatching them off a desk or something. But I say all this because, you know, this has happened more than once where somebody has ended up in a prison with a relative or even a close friend and seen them being some type of boy or something, you know. I remember one time it was a guy that was a good friend with a dude. And they put him in my housing unit. I was in 5 house at the time, and before they moved me down to 3 house. But I was in 5 house, and they bring this guy in. He came in from the hole, but he came in from another prison. And he goes, "Hey, do you know who so and so?" And I didn't. And I mean, the name kind of sounded familiar, but I really didn't know who he was talking about. Well, he finds out he's in 4 house, and that he's in a big wreck. He owes a big debt. So, and this guy knew, you know, about this. He'd done time, you know. He goes, "Hey, man, can I pay it off and everything, you know?" And the guy said, "Yeah, you can pay his debt off with interest because, you know, you're kind of messing up what I got going here. But yeah, I'll let you pay it off since, you know, you and him are buddies." Paid the debt off. Got the guy moved back down to 5 house. That was his friend. And they ended up fighting because the guy would not stay out of debt. He'd go to store man. He would gamble. He'd do this and that. And they was even sillies. And he would keep telling him, "Hey, man, don't be doing this, man. Running up these debts, man." And the guy wouldn't listen, and then they fell out. I mean, they they had a fight in the cell. And one of them, the guy that moved back down there with his friend, ends up hitting his head real hard against something in the cell. I don't know if it was the bunk. It probably was the bunk. I've hit my head on the bunk before. Or it could have been anything, you know. But either way, he hit his head. But, you know, he was unconscious. He wasn't deleted. He was just unconscious. And the guy got worried, you know, and he banged on the door and hit the panic button and all this and that. And they got these little buttons that you push, you know, and guards will come running. And they's both of them bruised up. They take him out first. He's cuffed. They call medical. Medical comes and takes him out, you know, on a stretcher. Puts him on the little like golf cart that's made into like a little bitty ambulance, and take him away to a medical. But he goes to the hole and gets back out, and the other guy gets out, but I think he ends up in another house, you know. I didn't really see too much of him anymore. Like I said, by then they had the fences around the housing units and stuff, you know, and they separated everybody real good. But I was talking to him, and I said, "Man, what happened?" You know, he goes, "I was in there fighting, and he hit his head." And I said, "Yeah, but what was the fighting about?" He goes, "Man, the dude wouldn't stay out of debt." I said, "But that's your partner, man. That's your friend." He goes, "I ain't gonna keep bailing him out of debt. Debt's out. I did it one time, man, and it cost my people a lot of money to get him out of debt. You know, and I had to not get as much canteen and stuff that I normally got, you know, just all to help him. And then he wants to, you know, come in the cell, eat up everything I got, and go out there and get in debt and everything else. And I said, well, I understand that, you know. He goes, I said, well, he's in one of the other housing. He goes, I don't care where he's at, you know. I said, yo, you done messing with him? He goes, yeah, I'm done with him, man. He can go down there and get in debt, and I ain't helping him no more. And that was that. But that happens often, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, I hope nobody goes to prison. But if somebody goes to prison, please do not borrow things from people, especially when you first get there. Do not let people just give you things. Nothing is free in prison. And don't rent up debts, you know. I've said this before, and I'll say it 100 times, man. Don't get in debt with the store, man. Don't gamble. Anything that you can do to get in debt, stay away from that. You know, especially when you first get there. Otherwise, somebody might have you running around looking real pretty. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I thank you for watching.